All right. So we got some stuff going on, family. We got some really big stuff. It's definitely a potential for greatness. But like I said before, this is about leaving behind some things for forgiveness. It's about moving forward. It's about looking towards greener pastures. Not saying that the grass is greener somewhere else, but definitely saying that this grass or this land is something that I've definitely ready to move on from. I'm ready to try something different, try something new, to be open to new experiences, to create space in my life for something new to come in, or for me to create something new in my life. Okay, because death is all about that. And going into this relationship, of course, there was some definitely unexpected changes and unexpected events coming about, and I think it's now about making lemonade out of the lemons that were given in such an unexpected time. Okay, I think also this was a big splash of reality for you guys in regards to not only who you were, but like who this person was for you guys and how this person impacted your growth. Um, but going into it now, I'm going to pick the side here to start off, but feel free to pick the side that resonates with you, Aries. Either way works. But you guys have the Ten of Cups. So whoever this person is has got the Ten of Cups here. Now, the Ten of Cups, in this regards to the thing of the relationship, is obviously this person's seeing this relationship as happy or has the potential for great happiness for them. This is a happily ever after card. They feel happy to share in that love and the emotional bliss with somebody else, with the people that they love, the people that are surrounding them, their friends, their family. And I think this person sees this relationship as someone that's connected with someone that's like a soul, partner. Like this person is very in love with the relationship, very in love with the other person, and very happy with this relationship. They really are. The other person has the Six of Wands. Now, I don't see this as anything bad. The Six of Wands is talking about seeing this situation as, progressive, right? Definitely proud of the work that they put in. Now, considering that they have the Emperor coming up here, though, I kind of get this idea that this person may be very prideful. When they think of the relationship, they think of, the pride, how much they've been through, how much they've overcome in their own lives, and pretty much that it's almost like they've kind of limited themselves with that Six of Wands. And I don't ever see the Six of Wands that way. I see the Six of Wands as success, as being proud of the efforts that you've been putting in. And this is not to say this person isn't proud of the work that they've done, but this person is also very proud because I think that I feel like what they've gone through has just definitely justified certain means, you know which may have developed some sort of stubbornness. But ultimately, though, how the relationship has developed, and because it doesn't have, this doesn't have to be that way for everybody. That's just one small way to read it. This also could be that this person is truly proud of themselves, overcoming certain situations, still, maintaining victory, being happy with the results of the work that they've been putting in, right? They're seeing themselves, gearing up for something that honestly makes them happy, I think. Because how this person is presenting themselves as the Ten of Pentacles, this person shows that they're committed. It shows that they feel secure, or they're providing security in the relationship here. They feel like this is a relationship that can and will last a long time. They almost give me like this sort of like already married kind of vibes, and they're already very proud of that. They're proud of the relationship. They're proud of who they're with. They're not, they're not like total. They're not. They're not. They don't feel like this is something that needs progress. This doesn't feel like for them that this needs any more work. It almost feels like this person's already there, right? It's very interesting. This person's already at that point where they can commit and be okay. Another way to read that, though, back to this person seeing this as something that, that they are, they're very proud of themselves in the sense of, this is, they've been through so much that they don't, they kind of feel like they've gotten, they got to this place where they don't need to be told anything differently. Like they're good, and it's because they're in a very secure place. So they're either, they're either surrounding themselves around like abundance. They are happy with the work that they put in, and they feel secure in their life financially. They may, be the provider of the family here, but usually the Ten of Pentacles don't really give that kind of vibe. The only reason why I'm going there is because of that Emperor at the very end. because this helps us to understand why everyone's presenting themselves the way they present themselves. And the fact that the matter is that this person can be stubborn, can be possibly very difficult to work with unless you have the Empress energy, which is compassionate, patient, and that energy of yin does compensate for the yang. It does help with yang energy. It does soothe that aggressive Mars energy, and gets a nice balance going. But the thing is that this person shows that this person has a lot of pride. It's not a bad thing though. I think this person is very proud of the relationship that they have, and they see this as the 10 of cups, but in the physical, they're very happy with it. They see that there's just, the abundance they wanted emotionally, financially, it may be in life. They maybe, they have some things that they want finally, that come in, and they're very happy with that. But I kind of feel like this person is constantly on the conquest as well with the Six of Wands. They're looking to continue to, to expand, to get more, but they're kind of looking at it from a very practical perspective, which is very few, may not resonate with a lot of you guys at all. So if this person feels like this is good and this is fine, everything's perfect, my question is why is the challenge the Eight of Pentacles? And that's why I was getting also the pride too, because I think they're like, we've done everything, we're good, we're stable, we're awesome, but there's no progress being made. The challenge is that there's no progress, there's nothing being worked on. And obviously that's not going to work, especially, considering that this is trying to move to a higher level of commitment, right? This is ascending. This means it's in the process. And the progress is being held right now because, with Eight of Pentacles being a challenge, it's not being worked on. Something's not being worked on because somebody's proud, they're very happy with where they are. They're not looking to expand or do anything extra because they're good with where they've come from. And it's because they're a bit control freaks. They may be, trying to control the situation a little bit too much. They may be wanting to, to just kind of stay where they are because they're not interested in doing something else. This is outside their comfort zone perhaps, or this is something that would be outside of that realm of protection or of security and stability. Like this person is kind of in control. That's what it looks like here with the Emperor. This person's always kind of been very dominant in the relationship, and it shows that their pride is getting in the way of progress in the relationship because of whatever stability that they've attained in this moment with themselves. But they don't see that there is something going on with the other person. I feel like this person is happy in the relationship, but with the person showing up with the Five of Swords and how they're being displayed, they're looking out for their best interest and looking at what they can get out of the situation. And I kind of honestly feel like that way, the reason why they're doing that is because they've always been compromising. This person is non-compromising. When the Emperor comes up, he does it his way and that's it. And this person shows that this kind of behavior is all my way or the highway. Because the Six of Wands, like I said, is pride. And then this person here with the Emperor is like, they're good. They're good at taking action and growing things and, building stuff, right? Because that's what they do. They create plans and they really have a strategy at something. But the problem is that they don't budge. They don't shift. They don't change. They can, but it's one hell of a battle. The Emperor is one tough cookie, and the only person that can do that, like I said, is the Empress. This is, that is this better half. So, whoever this person is, it could be a she too. It doesn't have to be a male. This person is strong-holding this relationship because this person has a certain way of doing things that they don't want to break from. I feel like this person has very strong fixed energy, and it may be to do with this, they're surrounded by friends and family. They like the way that they normally live. So this is like a situation where there's a lot of history, there's a lot of time built into it, but in order for them to obviously to grow in their relationship with the other person, I feel like they have to continue to take steps outside of this Ten of Pentacles. Whatever this is done, in the sense of like, they've done everything that they could have completed here. It's not, I think there's another cycle that's trying to begin with the situation, but they're trying to hold on to this. They're traditionalists in some ways. I feel like there's either some elderly family around them or some people that, they're surrounded by people of, that obviously expand from different generations of their family perhaps, and they're not too prone to letting go of that sort of space. Or prioritizing for something else. I think they're kind of they're dominant in the sense of they're taking care of everything, taking care of everyone, and that gives them justification to kind of dictate where the relationship goes, which is very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card for that Ten of Pentacles. But this person's showing here, like they've been always this person's very compromising, but they're not getting there what they want. So I feel like this person's taking a bit more of an aggressive route, not really compromising, kind of, being resistant to what the person wants, what the person's demands are, because their demands are not being met. And the reason why is because of the Three of Swords. Now, the Ten of Cups can talk about family. Like, I think this person sees the relationship as very family oriented, as very supporting, and everybody has each other's backs in some degree. But I feel like this really weird that this person feels this way or thinks this way, thinks family or harmony, but is not getting that at all. It could be that this person is thinking that the relationship is not harmonious. This relationship could do with harmonious energy, because it's not harmonious now, because this person is having to be aggressive about what they need or what they want in the relationship. No one else is considering them, so they have to consider themselves, and that means they're gonna have to just kind of deny people, be stubborn in their own right, because they're not getting recognized. I'm going to pull some cards, actually. So let's see. Why is the Ten of Pentacles coming up for the other person here on the other side? Why is the Ten of Pentacles coming up for the person with the Emperor on my left, but on the right side? This is the Page of Wands. Okay. Why is the Page of Wands why is the Page of Wands coming up for the Ten of Pentacles? Why? Because of the Sun. Interesting. Now, this Page of Wands and the Sun are usually really good pairings, because the Page of Wands talks about a spark or an inspiration, something that can provoke, creativity, that can inspire action being taken. It can indicate news as well. But the thing is that it's coming up because of the Sun, the potential for great happiness. Like I said, I think this person sees that there's this relationship is, already at a place of where they want it to be, but they're not quite there yet. I think this person sees this as the spark for the relationship, but they're not, they see the potential for happiness, but they're kind of comfortable where they are. Let me get one more for all that. Because of the Knight of Swords. Here we go. Aggressive. They're fighting for what they believe in, which is whatever they believe is will make them happy. But that kind of Knight of Swords energy, it's aggressive only because this person's not considering anyone else's perspectives or how someone else feels or thinks. Like I said, this person's only thinking about what their success is, what they want, what makes them happy. And unfortunately, that may be canceling out someone else's dreams, and that in turn makes this person very, very adamant about doing their thing, doing their own thing as well. So let's see why this person has the Ten of Cups in their mindset. Why does this person have the Ten of Cups in the mind plane here? Why is the person thinking of the relationship as the Ten of Cups? The Devil. Oh, geez. This person... Oof. I think this person's very obsessed with the idea of being happy and having harmony. But it's not obsessed, actually. This person feels trapped in a situation where they're constantly in a situation where they're not happy. Like, there's a possibility for happiness, but because there's always somebody that has to have a power play, it always has to go in this direction of somebody else compromising or somebody else, being, lenient. And I think this person's tired of being lenient in the sense of there not being a balance, because the Devil can indicate there being a lack of balance. And the Devil coming up like this with the Ten of Cups shows that there's obviously disharmony. I don't want to go there with the toxicity in the relationship. I think there's somebody that's definitely a stronghold in this relationship, though. And they're not able to implement any sort of things that they want to do because this person is too dominant. This person is not really thinking about anybody else other than themselves. Therefore, this is why it's hard to, to create anything new, because this person has to release this ego. this need to control everything, this need to have, be right all the time, or have this the upper hand or the superior everything. And I think this person feels like I said, I think they're well off financially, and I hope they don't use this as a manipulative tactic. So far, I don't see anything regarding manipulation. But the situation is that it's still not equal, regardless of what's going on, or who has what, what's whatever happening. Like, this person is not feeling like, well, this person here rather is feeling trapped because this dynamic in the relationship is not being fixed, and it's not harmonious, and it's not considering anyone else. But I feel like this person has to change their perspective. No more compromising, I think. Let me see why the Five of Swords is coming up for this person here. That's the Five of Swords coming. Yeah, see. It's interesting. The person's got the fountain. The fountain talks about being, not taking action at all. It's very high priestess energy, but it's talking about just letting things come into your life. And the reason why is because I think the person is compromising quite a bit, which is, it doesn't help the person, the relationship progress if someone isn't feeling like they're being considered. Why is the fountain coming up with the Five of Swords? I just want more and more for that, because I feel like it's saying that it's compromising. It's not standing strong in one's belief system. And even if that does, and I think it's because maybe there's someone that, may have given them an ultimatum. I don't think there's anything here that, I don't think this person is given an ultimatum. I think hopefully nobody gave somebody an ultimatum, because that's not cool. Either let's say you have to go my way or I can't be with you, and that's why that's why this person is being extremely passive, and not, because this yin energy is not necessarily benefiting the relationship, because the other person is not considering the other person's needs or desires or wants. Even though the Ten of Pentacles would suggest, a balanced situation, a healthy relationship, everyone feeling secure and stable and safe. This person is not feeling it. Why is the fountain coming up with the Five of Swords? The Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. Because the Queen of Pentacles talks about feeling very independent, knowing which they want. But this person is definitely showing, I don't know if this person is a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but I think this person is definitely the person that takes care of everything, the person that manages things. Already I'm seeing kind of codependent behavior, only because this person doesn't feel like it's almost very weird. It's like this person doesn't have the harmony in the relationship. They give, they're very compromising. They're very, passive when the other person is very dominant, but they still take care of everything. So this person isn't really holding up anything. This person is only focusing on themselves and not considering the other person that's actually taking care of the relationship, that's actually putting the work in. At the same time, I feel like this person is committed to the relationship. This person does love this individual, and they understand that, there's going to need to be patience and time put into building a healthier dynamic between the two. But at the same time, I feel like this person is also no longer interested in constantly giving of themselves when the other person isn't even willing to give of themselves for something to honestly be fair. Why is the Three of Swords coming up for this person's spiritual? Why is that person's Three of Swords coming up for the spiritual energy? The Two of Wands. Oof. Be stuck at a crossroads. The Three of Swords is coming up because this person's, there's the old issues surrounded by a crossroad, a decision about, where they want to go. Why is the Two of Wands the clarifier for the Three of Swords? Why is that? Because of the Seven of Swords. Interesting. And why is the Seven of Swords clarifying the Two of Wands? One more for that. Because this is pretty deep. Because of the Five of Pentacles. Okay. Alright, they're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth the risk or not to express their needs, express their desires. and express the imbalance. Some of you guys, this person may be having a hard time with overcoming heartache, which is causing them to really consider going on their own, being independent, like the Queen of Coins can indicate. But the reason why this person is displaying themselves as the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Ten of Cups, is that, the situation is coming to an emotional head for them, and they can't continue to be, feeling like they're in a situation where there's no balance, there's no contribution, there's no fairness, and that is definitely coming to the head. I think the Ten of Cups is not just wanting happiness, but it's also coming to an emotional ending. I think there's like something unexpected happened. Sure, I think there was a spark, something that nobody expected to fall in love. But then at the same time, somebody's halting, this the halting of this growth or this progression, it's keeping the relationship at bay. The engagement card is saying that your love is ascending to a higher place of commitment. It could be the commitment to the self, because the situation that you're in is showing where you need to be more committed to yourself, to commit to your standards, to have boundaries that protect you and your needs. At the same time, this also can indicate where, the way you can, develop your commitment in the relationship by allowing yourself to be giving, in the sense, or to be open to new things, to make space for someone else to create and to, get a balance that they desire. Because if this person is coming from lack here, and this person is trying to figure out what they're going to do, that honestly makes them happy, because they are feeling rejected. The Seven of Swords and the Five of Coins, this is just mean taking a risk on a situation where they don't feel like they're fully fulfilled, or they feel like you're lacking, but this person feels ignored and rejected. Like they don't know what to do, because, they don't know how to further push forward. And I think it's too coming from a place where they haven't considered their own emotions and how they feel and what they want. And now they're doing that. And they want that sort of to reflect in their relationship, but I feel like it has to come from them first in a very weird way. And at the same time, if they have already been considering themselves and considering what they want, and the other person isn't seeing that, they're not sure what to do, because they've constantly been ignored. And no matter how hard they try, I think they always end up going close to that point where they're just gonna sever the relationship because they're not considered. Wow. Citrine, you guys have citrine for you guys' crystal reading. Oh man, Aries, man, what's going on? All right, so citrine, abundance, a stone of joy and abundance. Citrine helps you to interact creatively with the world. It promotes inner calm. Self-understanding. You spend too much time worrying about home, family, and finances. Remember, you are an abundant being who manifests what you need. You are an innocent, wise child who yearns to play. Joyful. Oh, shoot. That makes sense with the Queen of Pentacles. You guys have just been working, and you guys want to have a bit more fun, but I think the situation is lacking in that. I think it's as well as lacking in intimacy as well. This person may actually just be happy with the connection, but they need more intimacy, and they're not feeling it, because this person is focusing on the finances too. Wow. Joy play creates a wonderful world. A wonderful world, like wonder/full. Be grateful, for you are blessed. Accept constructive criticism. Like I said, this person's too proud to hear something. All right, but anyway, become emotionally balanced, letting emotions flow naturally. Divination. Take time out for joyful play. Self-regard heals a damaged child. Abundance is all around you. Like I said, this person feels good. This person feels really good. Trust your intuition and perspective. Consult the wise child within. right? This person has to look at what's causing them to be, what's because there's old issues that this triggering. Not just that. I don't think this person is hurting them necessarily on purpose. I don't think they mean to. That's why I'm thinking this. I don't see any manipulative energy. I don't see anybody trying to stronghold a relationship. I think this person just doesn't see anything outside themselves and whatever they're trying to accomplish, which has to do with finances. So they can feel more comfortable, maybe to have more fun, but I think this person is already in a very playful mood. I think this person is very committed and very stable. But this person here is just focusing so much on 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 either finances or again, this person may not be considerate of the other person here that's been trying to do the best that they can with their relationship, but everything has its connection to the person that is the victim, right? So the devil doesn't just happen to you. It's because there's a behavior that's allowing that behavior to come into play in this person's life. And they have to look at where this allowing of behavior is coming from, so they can nip that in the bud and start moving forward. Ooh, wow, it's wild. You attract success and prosperity. Stop worrying, stop worrying. Be optimistic and allow life to happen. Trust your intuition and perspective. Consult the wise child within. Your thoughts on the bigger picture are correct. If there is family discord, harmony is restored through praise. Okay. And chakras, it cleanses. What it does for the chakras, it cleanses, activates, and re-energizes them all. And the soul path is embodying abundance. So this person is coming from lack. That's what's happening. It's interesting, man. It looks like this person's fine, just not noticing what's going on with this other person and understanding why this person is the way that they are, because like I said, this person's kind of focusing on what they're doing at this moment. Not that that's bad, but they're just doing what they know to do for themselves. They don't understand why this person's reacting this way, or feeling, like there's no consideration, or there's no cooperation, there's no collaboration. This may be because this person is working very hard, putting in a lot of work, and in the financial area, maybe even in the relationship area, but they are, they're focusing on what they want instead of seeing from the other side how either they may need to communicate differently to allow something in. Because I think this person's like, in a way, very passive aggressive, because the fountain and the five of swords together can indicate somebody that's trying to get something done but very passively. And the queen of coins, she's active, she's good at creating something, creating abundance, and all that stuff. But it's very weird to have a card of passivity in between two cards that can, at least in between a card that can talk about taking action, being very aggressive and very ruthless about what you want, and at the same time, being very, very practical oriented. And it could be because this person can't see anything outside of themselves regarding the finances. This person may be seeing happiness only through material stability, which is not the case. The person may honestly have to see their relationship, see that their relationship and themselves, they're actually okay. And it grows through, ignoring what they don't have or what they don't have enough of. Because they can always have more. It's all about choosing their path of where to go versus what will give them the most money or what will give them the most stability in a sense, right? Because this is all about what this person's focus is, and this focus could be what's taking their power away, which is the feeling of that they need to work, that they need to provide, that they need to do the X, Y, and Z. Because the Queen of Pentacles is all about taking responsibility and committing to a situation, and I don't think this person's very, I think this person is doing this out of obligation, because they want to be secure, they want to be safe, and it may have to do with some money situation, which is why this person's fine. They know abundance is coming. This person knows that they can, they're cool, but they don't see that this person's being aggressive, or this person has something going on their end, whatever the drama is, and they may be confused because this person may be just like, well, we need the money. This person may not understand because they're like, hey, life is good. I love you. You love me. We're in a good relationship. We have our friends and family around us. What else could go wrong? And it's like, hey, these bills need to be paid. When that's not everything. but this person surrounding that regarding everything. So they're giving their power away to something that they feel that they need to do in order to feel secure. And that's a tough one, but it can be worked on. It's going to require lots of focus and, shifting the mindset, letting go of that kind of perspective. But it's going to require the person to do that. You can't force somebody like this to change their mind like that overnight. It only happens with this person here allowing things to come into their life, to being open to new things and open to growth, So this person has to, has to have that mindset and raise their vibration, and hopefully this person will be able to do the same.